for a back take. This could have like led me to submission, and it didn't. Again, it was like first day of the match. We were shirtless. Everything was sweaty. Tension was high, and I wasn't very good. So let's take a look at some of these mistakes here. There's a lot of things I did right, but just some major screw-ups. So when I actually cleared this single, I started coming around like so. He immediately started to reach back for my legs and started to sit to this hip to avoid back exposure. So his hand ended up between my legs. Right from here, I just immediately rolled through and tried to take his back with this belly whizzer. And I rolled through into this position and started entangling my legs inside his. Then I rolled up back on top. So we came up back into this position here, and then I put him flat on his shoulder, which I should have done. Now, it's such an easy score from here. All I had to do was keep my legs engaged from this position, and if my legs stayed engaged, I just had to keep weight over his legs, and then I could just reach back into a crossface and pin him. Okay, the problem is that I just didn't know what I was doing, so I was like, "Oh man, he's got to control my legs. I don't want him to have control of my legs." So I actually took my leg out from here. I put my hand between, and as I put my hand between from here, he just immediately scooted his hips away and immediately got his hand out and got into my leg from here and ended up on his hip. Then right from here, he just relinquished the single and just started turning away, in which case I had all my weight on him. All right, so I was here, I was ready to start sprawling, and as he went to go sit through, I fell, and I ended up with a tight waist here. So we're just like fumbling all over the place, like falling all over one another. And he went to go move away, but the tight waist from here allowed me to come up on top and end up with a backhand arm. We ended up in this position here. So that was the first thing. So a couple of things that just went wrong right from here is when we ended up in this position, or off the single leg, here, we went to go roll through. As we went to go roll through, tons of things I could have did from here. I could have tried to take his back. I could have went cross or body ride. I'm confident that I was much better than him from that position. But really, when I went to go come on top of him, this was such an easy score. All I had to do from here is I put him down to his shoulder. He fell down to his shoulder. All I had to do was just reach back crossface. Then we just reach back crossface, and he would have tried to get up from here. Good luck. The crossface would have completely killed him. But instead what I did was I stayed with his over back grip. I put him down and I actually took my legs out. So now his hips are free to move, his legs are free to move. And now I tried to put a hand inside and lift it. But as he went to go scoot his hips away, it allowed his top hand to come out and move to my leg. And we ended up here. So now I went to go start sprawling and he just set through. And he ended up in this position here, where now I was like, oh man, I just happened to have a tight waist from here. And I kind of fell to my butt. I was like in this awkward position, and all he had to do was clear this hand and turn and face me, and he would have been on top of me. Okay, but what he did is he started to pull away, and as he went to go pull away, it pulled me up into top position, and now it allowed me to lock up with a top-headed arm from here. Now, the top-headed arm is another disaster. What I wanted to do is try to insert hooks. I had one knee in pretty deep from here, and I was trying to insert a hook down here. And I was stepping up and doing kinds of things like this. I should have just stayed behind the elbows, put them on a hip, and looked to insert my hooks or start leg routing from there. But what I insisted on doing was I'm going to get this far hook, and he's going to roll. Instead of rolling, he kind of brought his hips up and went into like a half 4-point, which I wasn't really used to at the time. And that that screwed me up. So as I was getting high from here, I was like, this hook's going in, it's going in. Then he just bumped his hips up, and then I just fell off the top. And then we ended up in a situation where we just both got back up and went back to neutral. So I just screwed the whole thing up from start to finish. And the last ditch effort to score in the match was that last back take from turtle position. I didn't knock him to a hip. I didn't stay behind the elbows. I didn't ride the hips. I didn't keep his hips between my knees. I didn't really do anything right. And then I finished it off with getting too high and just getting bumped off the top and just lost the whole position. So that was like the critical moment in the match where I could have won. I probably would have submitted him if I took his back with that amount of time left, and I just